Dan Rother, Top Student Athlete Recruiting, here with you again. I want to talk today about what you can do at a college ID camp to differentiate yourself, to separate yourself between you and the other prospects that might be at that camp so that you're recruited by the colleges that you want to be. College ID camps are starting to happen, and you need to make the best first impression you possibly can. As I spoke about in my last video, and you can check it out on my YouTube channel, I talked about selecting ID camps and how difficult that can be. You don't have to attend ID camps to get recruited, and you definitely need to do your research in advance to see if they're worth the time, energy, and money to attend. Make sure you're actually being recruited or the possibility exists. But if you want to go and attend, here are some things you can and should be doing to set yourself apart from the others in attendance. First one is do your due diligence, right? Again, these cost money, plus maybe even travel, flights, hotels, whatever it is. You want to make sure they're worth your time, but you also want to put your best foot forward. Colleges want to fill their camps. They want to make some money for their programs. If there's about 200 kids at an ID camp, they're recruiting 4 to 10 of them, and then those are the ones getting ID'd. So you need to take initiative, right? Reach out in advance so that the coaching staff, and I said coaching staff, that means the head coach and the assistant coaches, know who you are and find out what they're looking for in a player. Are they looking for a player like you? Ask them. If you're trying to decide if you go to a camp and you ask that coach that question and they don't get back to you, they may or, probably not looking for a player like you. If they do get back to you and they tell you some in details what they're looking for and they spent the time and energy to talk to you, they might be serious about you. You should be doing this for tournaments and events your team is attending too. Reach out in advance. Let coaches know when you're playing, where you're playing. They might be in the area. They might be already attending that tournament. Let them know when and where you're going to be, and you might have a better chance of being seen and a coach coming to watch you play. But reach out in advance. Coaches want to know who's going to be there so they can watch them. If they don't know who you are, you'll just be one of the run-of-the-mill players that are there. If it's a super camp, a lot of college coaches at the event, make sure it's not just, the college logo on the profile, that's there. Reach out to not just to the teams who are signed up and you see their names, but reach out to a lot of different colleges, the ones you're interested in, and tell them you're attending this camp. That might sway them to go attend it, and then you get recruited by that school. It also, gives them a chance to know, oh yeah, there's an opportunity to see this person play. I'm going to go. When you get to the camp, introduce yourself to the head coach and assistants, and do it immediately when you get a chance. Don't just be passive. Don't sit back. Shake their hand. Even if it's a coach from a school that's one you never heard of at a super camp, go ahead and reach out. It's the trainer. It's players on the team. Reach out, introduce yourself, get out of your comfort zone a little bit and put yourself out there. It's going to make a big difference. You'll be remembered because not every kid does that. And secondly, coaches want to recruit kids they have relationships with. They want to recruit, the best players they can get. You got 2 players, they're even, who the cream rises to the top, the ones that do the little things, the intangibles. All right, if you're doing the little things, all right, you may move ahead of some others. Mingle, mingle with other campers. That's important. Don't just sit in the corner and do your thing. Talk to current college players that are there. Usually some of the current team is at the camp. Talk to them. Find out what they think of the college. Find out what they think of the program. You get a real feel and a gut feeling by hanging out with the current players. Plus, the players often recommend guys to the coaches, not just on the field and what they saw you do on the field, but they'll be like, oh, we really liked hanging out with that kid in the cafeteria, that they were a great fit for us. So don't just hang out with the same guy or two, from your local team or things like that. Mingle, get outside your comfort zone, mingle with the current players, introduce yourself to coaches and staff, and differentiate yourself that way. Next one is be communicative on the field or court, right? That's hard. It's hard to find this. All right, especially at a camp setting when you don't know anybody. You're playing with new players. You don't know what they like to do, and it's hard to kind of, tell guys and girls on the field what you want when you don't know them. It's uncomfortable, right? But coaches want to see this. They want to see who's going to lead. They want to see some leadership. You don't need to be obnoxious, but you need to be, communicative. That's a big part of any college sport. Your body language is important, right? Don't get frustrated with yourself or with others. Move on to the next play and get better. Relax, play your style, play to your strengths. You can adjust, adjust to the playing style that's going on. If there's the coach that brings a different playing style, but bring energy and intensity and willingness to learn, right? So if you're able to adjust, your willingness to learn is shown. You might get put out of position, or maybe you have to play out of position because the team you're on already has someone playing your position, or that's just how it got put in there by the coach. Ask to play another position. Ask to play your strong position. And see if you can do that. If there's a chance to get back in. Hey, coach, I didn't get to play center mid today. I'd really like to show you what I got there. If you don't get back on, it might be a little bit telling of where they're seeing you fit in. But give that a shot as well. Have fun. Have goals. All right, that's a big thing of those camps. Learn. I think every chance is a learning opportunity, just to learn about a school, learn about a playing style, learn about how coaches run things. You'll get a chance to learn things. At the end, thank them after the camp. Go shake their hand again. Shake the coaches, all the coaches, staff, anybody that helped you, players that you met. Maybe even trade cell phone numbers with some of the current players and things like that. Send them a note afterwards. That's important too. Hey, I really enjoyed being at the camp. It was fun meeting you. Things like that. Don't ask the coach for feedback right there, and then they're trying to say goodbye to a lot of players and things like that. But ask if you can send an email about some feedback, and then follow up. Send an email, follow up, or a text. Really differentiate yourself. Send a handwritten note. Those things can speak volumes. So those are some things, like I said, that can move the needle for you. Maybe separate yourself from the pack in the recruiting process at an ID camp, or even at a tournament or a showcase. Some of those things still, you're not mingling or anything like that, but they still exist of reaching out in advance. You can't do it the week of the camp and expect coaches to know who you are. All right, but a couple weeks in advance. Or if you're trying to figure out what camp to attend, those are some questions you can ask. So hopefully that's helpful. Dan Rothert, Top Student Athlete Recruiting. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. TopStudentAthleteRecruiting@gmail.com. Thank you. Bye.